before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that you can use any recipe you want. So I'm not going to be sharing my recipes today. If you want to subscribe later, I'll probably show them in later videos. For buttercream, I'm just using a simple vanilla Swiss meringue buttercream. And then for the cake, same thing. You can use whatever cake you'd like. It could be box cake, your mom's recipe, your recipe, or you can, if you'd like, grab some pre-made ones. So these ones today were graciously supplied to us from McCall's Bakers. So they're pre-made. They're vanilla. You can order them online on the website. They bake them fresh weekly, and you can pick them up at the Mississauga location. Again, if you're just trying to cut corners, it's a good option. So that's what we're going to use today, some McCall's vanilla. But again, use whatever you like. So we've got our buttercream, got our turntable, we've got some cakes. So what we're going to do, we're going to fill it, we're going to ice it, and then we're going to pop it in the fridge, and when it's nice and chilled, we'll carve it down. So let's get started. Gonna give this a little whip so it's nice and fresh. This is nice and fluffy, just the way I like it. You can prepare your buttercream ahead of time. I did, and I just kind of re-whipped it to get some air into it. So our buttercream is nice and whipped, guys. Now we are ready to start assembling. Now, if you've assembled cakes before, everybody does this differently. I like to eyeball it. There are some cake artists out there that use a spoon, or I think I've even heard someone use an ice cream scoop when they're doing this, but again, I just slap it on and eyeball it. Don't judge me. So, get a little sticky base here. I think we're good to go. So I'm going to pop this in the fridge. When I take it out of the fridge, the idea is that I don't want it to be, it's still not really wobbly, but I don't want it to be extremely wobbly. When I take it out of the fridge, I want it to be solid. So when I tap on it, the buttercream shouldn't come off on my finger. It's a good way to tell. So I will be right back. I'm gonna pop this in the fridge. So while our cake is chilling in the fridge, we can do some of the prep. You can do this days before if you'd like. It's not really time sensitive, but might as well do it while our cake is chilling. So what I have here are wafer papers. So they're not icing sheets. Please don't get them mixed up. Icing sheets will not work for this. They're wafer paper. Again, you can get them at McCall's. You can order them online. Okay, so take a sheet of wafer paper. We're going to be folding this, and we're going to be cutting leaves for our tree. Now we have a smaller rectangle shape. Now we're going to cut our holly. You're going to want to make sure that when you start cutting, that you're starting and you're not cutting this closed edge. Okay, so kind of like a holly shape. So you open it up and you should have two sets. And because you folded it so many times, the edge here should kind of naturally fall apart. If not, and they get stuck like this, just give it like a little tug. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut out a whole bunch of these, different sizes. So we'll do a large, maybe a medium, and a small. So I just took the cake out of the fridge. It's been chilling for over an hour now. We're going to carve. We're going to cover with ganache. We will let it sit for a couple minutes, and then we'll add our leaves that we made earlier. Definitely happy with the general shape. So I am going to put some Rice Krispies on top to get our point, and I will adhere it with some ganache, or if you want to use buttercream, that's fine with buttercream. So we have a little bit of a point, maybe not that big. Maybe go like this. It's the goal. So got some pre-made Rice Krispie squares here that we're going to use. You can do this the days before, doing it all in one shot. Nothing fancy, guys. You are squishing them together. Again, you want to get kind of like a cone shape. going back. I mean, I'm kind of happy. Like, I think I'm happy with our tree shape. Yeah. So just give it a little squeeze again. These Rice Krispies squares are not going anywhere. Yes. Okay, so we've heated up, or I've heated up my ganache. Let me just see if you can see here. It's like a peanut butter consistency. If you're using ganache and you've never used it before, you might want to heat partway through if it gets a little bit too solid and it's not spreadable. And if you're like, what is ganache? It's chocolate and cream. I can share my recipe with you later in future videos. But essentially this is a white chocolate ganache. I put a little bit of a whitener in it. It tends to have like a natural yellow color, and I really didn't want that in my tree. So I just added a little bit of a whitener. So, okay. So first step, we are going to adhere this bad boy to the top, just like you would buttercream. So again, for all you using buttercream, just follow along as normal. And if you feel that your cake is getting a little bit too soft, you can just pop it back in the fridge and continue from where you left off. So nothing fancy. We are literally just going to slop this on. All right, I think this is a good base to work with. I am going to put this in the fridge, and then we will come back. Well, this is setting, guys, it takes a couple minutes. We will come back and we will make the star for the top, and then get all our, not toppings, but I guess decorations ready to go on this bad boy. Okay, be right back. Okay guys, so the cake is chilling in the fridge just for a couple of minutes. When it comes out, it will be very sturdy. But while it's chilling, we just want to make our star for the top. We're going to use some gum paste. You can use fondant if you want, but I prefer gum paste. Dries quicker. Fondant sometimes gets a little sloppy. So I'm just going to take a little bit. Some people use cornstarch. I prefer to use icing sugar. Just always have it. Just prevents it from sticking. If you didn't already know that, it's a good little trick. So we're just going to roll this out. Don't roll it too thin. A nice thickness would be good, because we're also going to put some toothpicks into it so that we can shove it into the top of the tree. So you want it to be a little thick, so that way you can put your toothpicks in without them bulging out. So I think that's like a good thickness. Just gonna cut it. Guys, easy peasy. Nice little star, thick, just the way I like it, so it's not flimsy. You're going to take 2 toothpicks. So we've got our star ready to go. We're going to take some water and some gold leaf. Almost every single thing I make has some type of gold or silver leaf on it. You need a little bit of moisture so that the gold can adhere to the star. I will just take paintbrush, very, very little bit of water. You really don't need much at all. I'm even taking the excess off. So there you have a cute little gold frilly star to go on top of our tree. Now let's get this tree out of the fridge. While this dries, we will apply our leaves to the tree, and then this should be dried by the time we're done adding our leaves. So our cake is out of the fridge, our tree's out of the fridge, it's chilled. Guys, this isn't going anywhere. We are going to adhere it to a board. I'm going to use a simple white 12-inch board. A 10-inch would probably do, but I'm going to use 12-inch. So we have our slit mat. We have our 12-inch board. We are just going to adhere the cake to the board using ganache, or if you're using buttercream. Our ganache is hard. So what I'm going to do is just have like a little dollop as we go around. What I did forget to tell you guys though is when you're making ganache, just just like a little tip. I know it's not a recipe today, but just a little tip. Don't use candy melts. They don't taste very good. I actually use this chocolate, it's a Palabit chocolate. It's delicious. It's probably the best chocolate I've ever had. There's dark, milk, white, but this is the one that I use particularly for all my chocolate ganaches. So just a little FYI in case you're wondering. That's what I use. Okay. Now we're gonna start from the bottom, guys. Very simple. Let me see if I can show you from here. We're just gonna put little tiny bits, and it's really just so that our leaves can adhere. So there's two sides. I like to keep the grainier side up because I think it looks more like snow. This is the last finishing touch to our modern white Christmas tree cake. I'm going to mix some vodka. You can also use lemon extract if you're not a fan of vodka, but it will evaporate, so alcohol content will be next to none. So I'm going to mix some vodka with some luster dust or gold dust. Everybody has different terms for it. I'm using antique gold. I prefer more of like a rusty looking gold over like a yellow gold. It's just my preference. Plus I think it'll go nicer with this cake. So I've got a little bit on the palette here. I'm just gonna mix the vodka from the other side in. At this point you can just like fling at your cake if you'd like, or you can splatter. I'm a splatter type of fan. I think it looks way nicer, but we might do a little combo. Okay, I think she's about done. Oh my gosh. I'm in love. I'm in love. Like I would just put this as a decoration in my house. Like who would know that this is a cake, right? Like that's a cake. It's a cake. So this is our white modern Christmas tree. Well, my white modern Christmas tree. I can't wait to see yours. So please, please, please tag me or tag McCall's, hashtag love McCall's. We want to see your version or even a duplicate, totally up to you, of a wafer paper Christmas tree cake. So please share, subscribe below for more videos. We have lots more content coming to you. I'll probably end up sharing that ganache recipe, the Swiss meringue recipe, and yeah, we can definitely chat details. If you have any questions, comment below or direct message, that's fine as well. But again, please follow us on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, hashtag love McCall's, LOVE McCall's, for us to take a peek and to feature. We'd love to see what you come up with. So thanks so much. See you again soon.